Hello and welcome to this edition of Coffee Break Conservation, where today we're going to consider bats. Are they a problem in my roof? This might of course be your own roof, or perhaps you're looking at a building or you've seen a building where there are bats in the roof, or you might think there are bats in the roof because they've roosted there previously. So here we see a picture of some brown long-eared bats hanging on some bitumen roofing underfelt. First thing to say is that bats are stringently protected by law. It is a criminal offence to disturb or damage a roost of where bats are living or have lived. So even if they're not present at the time of your inspection, if they have been present, that roost is still protected by law. So this will be really important if you are planning some roofing works or your client is planning some roofing works. You need to be very careful as to the timing and phasing of those works. And it is now a requirement that the first stage of any re-roofing will be to get a bat emergence survey done by registered bat ecologists, and then it will follow a natural course of action from there. In the event that bats are discovered in the roof, or suspected to be discovered in the roof, they may well dictate the timing of roofing works, and that probably will require rehoming of the bats, even temporarily. This can add considerably to the time and expense of the project, so do take that into account. One thing that is totally unacceptable now in law as well as in just humane sense is the use of roofing underfelts and products where bats can get their little claws caught, and it's very unfortunate that this chap, as you see on this image, has got trapped in that fabric and then died. This is against the law. So what you might well see, or your client might well see, are bat drop-ins in quite considerable quantities, and often aligned with the roof structure or near chimneys. Unlike mice, rats, squirrels, other vermin that just spread their droppings out wherever they happen to be, bats tend to hang and roost in very specific places, and that's why you can get a build-up of those drop-ins. So if you have an active roost, it would be quite appropriate to cover the thermal insulation with some form of material, as you see here, that can be removed temporarily for cleaning and then put back into place afterwards. Bats are very sociable creatures, as we see here. You have many different families of bats living together, and during the roosting and the series where they are giving birth to their pups, which typically is the early part of the summer, you'll get all the females tend to congregate together, whereas the males will tend to live in other parts of the roof and elsewhere. So this is a very common bat box, which you can either make yourself or you can purchase, and you'll notice the slits at the underside. That's where the bats will go in, and then they'll hang and roost in there, and then they'll emerge from the lower part. Very easy to make, inexpensive, and very good to put on the side of your shed or the side of your house to encourage bats into your area. One thing to be really mindful of, though, is floodlighting. Bats don't like floodlighting, and in a situation where your client is planning an addition to the property or an extension, this is something that is very likely to be picked up by the planners and will probably be rejected. Bats are very sensitive to permanent lighting, such as we see here, and it can heavily influence their happiness. So that's a quick run through of bats. We have done a full hour CPD talk, which you can find on the on-demand part of our website if you'd like more information on bats. In the meantime, please do like and subscribe to our YouTube channel and find us on other social media outlets. And we'll see you again. Thank you. Bye-bye.